Hello and welcome to today's webinar, New SMEX Free Content and Resources. If you'd like to ask a question during the webinar, please feel free. I'll be here answering any questions, supporting the presenter in the background. You can ask a question just by clicking on the speech bubble with the question mark inside. If you'd like to earn a certificate for today's webinar, you can. They can also go towards your PD hours. You can just log into your training.smarttech.com account and you can navigate to this webinar, New SMEX. I usually have the webinars up and running on the website the following week. So if you look Tuesday, Wednesday, the following week, it'll be up there for you to download the certificate. If you have any troubles downloading the certificate, you can just send me an email. I'll put my email in the chat box, but all you need to do is scroll the timer to the end of the webinar and just click on the Mark Complete button that you can see there with the red circle around it, and then it should automatically take you to your training.smarttech.com account and download your certificate, which you can then download as a PDF. Okay, so I will introduce today's presenter. So today we have the lovely Molly Turner. Molly is an education consultant for Smart Technologies. Here in Sydney she's based, but she does take care of most of Australia. So she has 15 years in education. She was a classroom teacher with leadership roles. Discipline areas were French and English across all sectors, mainly high school and some primary school French. She is a Smart certified trainer from 2017 and joined Smart in 2019. If you would like to connect up with Molly or ask her any questions, you can contact her via her email, which is just below her profile photo there. Also, she's got 2 of her social media handles as well. You can contact her through. So without further ado, I will hand it over to Molly. Thanks, Molly.
Thanks so much, Kendall. Hi guys, and welcome to today's webinar, which is on SMEX, or our new Smart Exchange. So guys, today the purpose is to really find a number of free resources that are available for you guys to use, and it's great. These resources you can download, and they're really flexible, so you can take the slides that you are enjoying or need to add to your own notebook, and sometimes you can also be inspired by the work of others. So look, today we'll sort of I'll guide you through using the new Smart Exchange to find these resources and how to share content as well. We'd really love to include more Australian content on SMEX. There is definitely some great resources from Australia, but we'd love to grow that number. And the payoff for today is for you guys to save time when you're creating resources and be inspired by others. So let's get into it. Okay, so for those of you might know, we had our Smart Exchange, which was our legacy resource repository, and that's been sort of operating for a good 15 years. Amazing notebook resources on there, and also from Notebook 11 all the way through to Notebook 19. But we've decided to revamp the old Smart Exchange, and because of differences, I suppose, in how our content is played. For example, Adobe Flash has been sort of phased out in the new Notebook Smart Learning Suite. So we also just wanted to as well revitalise the site, so there's more sort of updated content as well. We've got about over 310 monthly users, over 1,000 pieces have still sort of come across, and over 100 sort of countries. So it's an amazing repository of resources for teachers. I'll just go through here. So this is what our new Smart Exchange kind of looks like, and I'll just take you through some of the reasoning behind and the benefits of changing over to the new Smart Exchange. So here we go. Here we've got improved search and more filters happening, hundreds of fresh resources as well, standards alignment, which is coming soon. So that was part of the old Smart Exchange, and it will definitely be built into the new Smart Exchange as well. So just, yeah, have a little patience with that one, because that was a fantastic tool, obviously, for teachers to be able to find specific resources that align to our curriculum. You'll be able to sign in through using a smart account, which keeps you connected to smart software you already use. And there's a connection now to Smart Learning Suite Online, which is great. So that's your online cloud-based platform or library where you can save and enhance lessons from Smart Exchange and then deliver them directly on your classroom display to student devices. So they're definitely some of the reasons around why we went to a new Smart Exchange. And we'll just go back now and go through more what's on the roadmap as well, and to sort of see our phases too. So we've gone through our phase 1 here, which was the old Smart Exchange. And some people might have been accessing the new Smart Exchange through content.smarttech.com. So that was happening, that was our beta phase, but it was launched in August, and from August to June 30, 2020, so next year, we'll have our old Smart Exchange at Legacy Exchange, not smarttech.com. So you'll still be able to access it if there's particularly resources on there that you know and love that you would like to sort of download. They perhaps haven't come over to the new Smart Exchange for whatever reason, or maybe you've shared some of your content as well there that you want to sort of make sure has come over to the new Smart Exchange. You can always access that at legacyexchange.smarttech.com. And then the new Smart Exchange is exchange.smarttech.com. So that's been taken over now. And then from phase 3, so then in June 2020 and beyond, the old Smart Exchange will be end of life, and our new Smart Exchange will just continue at exchange.smarttech.com. So that's our little transition phases there for it. And here is a really exciting sort of roadmap, okay? So we can kind of have an idea of the progression of the new Smart Exchange. So we're definitely reached our phase here where the SMEX 1 has come over to SMEX 2, so to exchange.smarttech.com. And then along the way, we're going to find these great little additions sort of coming over. So we've got our localization where you can filter content by country and language, and the website translated into 8 different languages, which is fantastic. So at the moment, we'll sort of have a look if that's been implemented there, but it was always great that you could sign in as Australia, and then any content that was coming up would be Australian content first and foremost, and then you could add other countries to filter by. So it was always at the old legacy Smart Exchange that we would encourage people to also add countries such as Canada and the United States and the UK, New Zealand as well, obviously a lot of English speaking countries, in order to sort of find you know, a breadth of resources available. We've got the teacher lesson spec sort of coming and integrating soon. The standards alignment as well. So that's where you'll be able to search and filter content by global education standards. So that's always been a really a favourite of the Australians. So we can always sort of be able to look at our national curriculum and the standards alignment, and we ask when teachers are putting up their content to the new Smart Exchange that they do add that specific information, so their resource can be filtered accordingly. We'll be able to as well soon do a multiple file uploader, which is great. I know a lot of teachers are looking forward to that. So that's your ability to be able to upload multiple resources at once. So at the moment it is just one resource at a time, and that's just allowing us to be able to capture important data or information that we need for that, but that process will be streamlined soon enough, which is great. The other thing as well, and this is subject to change, but hopefully I'll be able to update people on this soon. So going to look at sort of product integration from Smart Learning Suite Online. Our IQ and Notebook users will be able to access content from SMEX and publish content from those different applications. So that will be really exciting, and particularly sort of easy if we're able to just share directly from our Smart Learning Suite Online or our notebooks straight into the new SMEX. That would be amazing. Our recommendation engine obviously on the way, and our social media as well is down the track. So users being able to share lessons on their personal social media platforms. So that's our little roadmap, which looks exciting. Definitely some of those areas were included in our former Smart Exchange in SMEX 1. And then they'll be coming over to SMEX 2, which is great. Okay. Oops, not there just yet. Okay, great. Let's have a look now at the Smart Exchange website, and then we'll go through some other resources for you in terms of if you need any further information on how to find a resource or uploading a resource or sharing a resource and stuff like that. So here is the new Smart Exchange, and you can find it at exchange.smarttech.com. And you can see here that you're able to search for your resources. For example, if I put in fractions, I can get all of the resources coming up in terms of fractions. So I might want something a little bit higher in grade. So I might be looking at grade 4. And then also perhaps some extension material as well. So I might put grade 4 and grade 5 in there, and it will filter accordingly. So we've got our different notebooks that come up, and we can sort of scroll down and have a look at what perhaps looks good. This is always a favorite, this one here, of the fraction circles. So this is a great one to be able to, it's just the one page that you could add to your notebook, but it gives you, so if you lay them on top of each other, you're able to sort of have that visual representation of equal fractions, or equivalent fractions, I should call it. Not my subject area, maths. Okay, so if we have a look through here, we can also go through any of the other resources as well. So let's just click on another one here. So I have a fraction review resource, and you can see what's great about this is we can review the whole notebook to sort of see maybe we just want a couple of pages from it. So we can then, there's two options. We can either save to SLS online. So if you click on that, that will take you to your Smart Learning Suite Online account. If you don't have one, you can also just hit download as well there, and save that to your device. So they're the two ways. I better get rid of that. Here we go, as we move through the pages. So there's some great little options there for you, and then there's also for those teachers that perhaps don't even have Smart Learning Suite, or they're operating on Smart Learning Suite, I beg your pardon, Smart Notebook 11, you can actually go to download a trial. So I know that Nick covered this off yesterday, not yesterday, last week, in our basics free software, our notebook basics, and then so you can upgrade if you're running notebook 11 to I'd like a free download of Smart Notebook basic version, and that will give you the capabilities to be able to play any of the Notebook 19 features in our free software. So that's also a great little option there. So once, you've saved it, you can download it. If it goes to your Smart Learning Suite online account, you can also share that resource out, maybe if you with team teachers or any of your faculty, that you could share that resource by sharing a link, or of course you can as well let people know that it's on Smart Exchange, and they can have their own little squiz of the resources that are there. So that's a couple of ways to be able to share resources. I don't think I'll wait for it to upload. I'll just show you. Once it uploads, you can hit your share link once it gets popped in there, and you'll be able to share your link there for your teachers. Okie dokies. The other thing as well, while we're here, is to have a look at, we'll just go back to the home page. So the home page will have some favorite downloads. So particularly you can see there that we've got a lot of Halloween templates and notebooks that have been really popular in the past few days, in the past couple of weeks, I should say, and then also these popular student activities. So they're always really great. I love looking there first and sort of getting ideas or borrowing some of the shared resources there for you. And they're also categorized by, so we've got student activities, or we've got manage a classroom and trying something new. So I know that rotation chart is very popular as well. So check those out. They're our sort of most popular or most featured notebooks there. Cool. So the other side of the site obviously is sharing resources. So just up in the top right hand corner there, there's a share resource button, and it'll take you to this link. Really important that you have a read of sharing the resource and making sure that you are, I suppose, hitting those points there so that you're the resource's sole creator, that you have permission to share those portions of the resources not created by you, and you've credited or attributed the work of others. So that's obviously really important. And then it says there, what can others do with my resources? So by uploading, you're allowing people to use, share and adapt the resources you share, provided that they credit you in it. And also that the resources shared to Smart Exchange will be licensed as well under Creative Commons license. Cool. That's just really important information around the site. And then what all you need to do here is that you can drop a file, so you can drag and drop it straight into here, or of course you can browse and you'll be able to upload it there. And once it sort of uploads, you just need to then, it has the title that will come across with it, and you can edit that if you need to. So you can call the file sort of something else. I don't even know what notebook this is. And then as well, you'll be able to pop in a brief description. I always think it's nice to keep it sort of really succinct so teachers get a good understanding of the resource. They can have a quick sort of glance at that. The keywords as well that you might want to sort of pop in. So if it has to do with fractions, equivalent fractions, or verbs, nouns, whatever sort of the content you're covering in there, it's really important to have those keywords because that's how people search. Selecting your grades, and you can select more than one. And obviously, if you sort of select something and it's incorrect, you can just go back to the box to deselect it. The resource type as well. So is it a lesson? Is it a full kind of a notebook lesson, or are they just lab activities or an assessment, or is it a template itself? And of course, what language is in there. So that's pretty straightforward. It kind of will guide you through the process, and then you would just hit, you'd click on the terms of use, and obviously then just hit share. Great. Hopefully that's nice and straightforward. If you're finding the process a little bit difficult, or do you like to know a little bit more information around it, you can always go to support.smarttech.com, and you'll be able to even pop in the search bar there for Smart Exchange, and it will take you to our support page for Smart Exchange. So in that support page that you've got there, there'll be training and videos, which often are really helpful. Oops. I just clicked on something there. Training and videos, how to sign up. So if you don't have a Smart account, what you'll need to do there to sign up and discover resources, sharing resources. So that's a really important sort of pages there, which is basically just what we went through. And there'll be the content guidelines as well. So the content guidelines is really important, I think, for people to note. So yeah, we'll just need to ensure as well that we've got, if you've got unsupported content such as Adobe Flash items in there, it'll be, if you can sort of pop the reason in there for that, that would be helpful in terms of us, because it does get vetted. So we do have a moderator looking at the resources before popping them on. Okay, great. So the other things as well, we just really quickly went to providing feedback. I think that's a really important one. What I really love about Smart as a teacher, I really enjoy the fact they do listen, and a lot of their software and this new Smart Exchange has been developed with the feedback from teachers, because they want to know, what's going to work best in their settings. So by all means, if you have sort of anything there in terms of sharing feedback, you can go to the Visit the Smart Exchange customer feedback page, and you'll be able to let them know sort of what's working for you, or perhaps is there a way that you can streamline the process, or do you have any advice for us? So that would be great if you could do that too. So lastly, I just want to make sure that we have covered everything there. The only other thing I think that we should just go over really quickly, sorry guys, and I'm pushing through here. I found this to be really helpful as well. So how can I continue using the free resources on Smart Exchange? So in terms of, you might already have a Smart account, and if you have, then you'll just use that single sign-in. So if you need to create a new Smart account or a new account, that's fine. So you'll be able to sort of do that as well. But in terms of if you wanted to share on the new Smart Exchange, the legacy Smart Exchange will no longer accept new resources. Okay, so it's really important that we're popping them into the new Smart Exchange, and there's a little link there, and also to bookmark any sort of support page, or bookmark the Smart Exchange as well, just for easy access. And check if your previously posted lessons have been featured on the new Smart Exchange, and identify yourself as the owner. So some of the resources that have come over, we didn't have the capabilities to put in those details in the old Smart Exchange, or I should call it the legacy Smart Exchange. So if you have lessons that you had previously uploaded, check them out to see if they've come across to the new Smart Exchange, and if so, you can identify yourself as the owner, and that would be really helpful, and we'd be able to get all of the specific details needed for people to be filtering and searching for your content. So download as well, I kind of mentioned that before, download the files from your account on the legacy Smart Exchange before June 2020. So that's obviously, you've got a bit of time there up your sleeve, but once after that date, you won't be able to access sort of any legacy Smart Exchange files, and particularly yours that have been uploaded on there. The other thing as well I'd like to sort of point out while we're here is that, and I know I've mentioned it a couple of times now, that Adobe has discontinued Flash, and it's removing it from the internet in 2020. And so because of Adobe's decision, all of our Flash content will stop working permanently. But look, don't worry, because 90% of it will actually come over, and we're going to put it into one of our new tools or features. So some of those games that you've had in your Notebook 11 and used Adobe Flash might will come over into our new Smart Lab, our gamification piece. So that's really important sort of for you guys to know. And also, there's a video I think is really important. We might even put this link as well in the chat box for you guys, or send it out afterwards. But if anyone's interested in how they're converting and replacing your flash content in Smart Notebook, then there's just a really good information on that, and a little YouTube clip for you guys to sort of know what's going to happen. So again, like I had mentioned, that some of you might be in Notebook 11, and if that's the case, you can download the new Notebook Basics to be able to use some of the newer features, and then just to know that a lot of your Adobe content will just be transferred over automatically into Notebook 19. Okay, cool. I hope I've made that clear and I haven't confused anybody. But if I have, obviously the new Smart Exchange frequently asked questions and support page will give you all the information that you need to know. There's also, of course, we've got a community forum on our smarttech.com website, and so you can always ask other sort of teachers there. Okie dokies. Well, that's me. So if we have any questions, I'll just throw to Kendall now, who can let us know if any questions have been asked. Kenny?
Yeah, there are 2 questions we have here. So the first question is, where can I find images of the smart monsters?
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's a great question. And because as well we have been we're coming up to Christmas, we just did have Halloween. There are some really fun, smart monsters that sometimes they don't really coincide with our seasons, for example the Christmas stuff, but they're great. So just go to exchange.smarttech.com and pop in smart monsters, and then you'll get all of the resources that are available to you. So you've got the Smart Monster Quiz, which also gives you all those images of the smart monsters. And then we've also got our summer holiday smart monsters, our Halloween smart monsters, winter holidays, and there's some in Super Sort, there's some in different languages there as well, which I believe might be, I'm not going to hazard a guess at that. And then some label reveals. So there's some really cool stuff that are being built using the monsters. And by all means, if you do create a resource using the monsters, please pop them up, because we know how teachers just love to use them. So that's there for you guys. Anything else, Kendall?
And yeah, one more question we've got here. Are there any other resources for teachers?
Yeah, great. Look, on our Smart Tech website, there are a number of sort of resources and support as well for teachers. So if you just go to smarttech.com, and you can either click on services and go to professional learning or courses and certificates, or you can click on support as well. So if you click on support, you can either filter via product. So you might have a notebook question and need some more resources around, or smart learning suite. So you can do it by support or by product, by product there, the support. And then the other ones as well that we have here are our courses and certifications. So these are great. So, we kind of start with the skills toolkit. You can see the link up the top there on the right hand side. The skills toolkit really sort of takes you step by step with some great little training modules. But there's also our other complementary training where you can earn badges, and those can get credited into if you decide to then get certified like I did, become a certified smart trainer. They also sort of feed into that, so you can sort of get started with your complementary training, and then perhaps down the track, if you decide you want to become a smart certified trainer, you can get in contact with us and then get your certification, which is awesome. And then, of course, we've also got, I think I've got it open here. Oh, yeah, our Ed to Ed YouTube channel. So obviously these days, you know, amazing resource, our little tutorials and videos. And you can see there, if you go to Smart Technologies Ed to Ed and subscribe, you'll get little notifications of when new stuff's being uploaded. But you can also go through and, you know, some of them are like, you know, 54 seconds, great. How to use smart blocks, you know, building activities. So some of them are a bit longer and others are those really sort of bite-sized pieces. And this is where all of our webinars sit as well. Our past webinars, oh, there's a great photo of me there, Inspiring Greatness. So there's a lot of resources and support there. Cool.
Yeah, that's it for the questions. Thanks for that, Molly. That was awesome. There's lots of awesome information in that. So that pretty much concludes today's webinar. For anybody who missed the start about earning a certificate towards your PD hours, I'll just quickly go over that again. You just log into training.smarttech.com and just navigate to this webinar, new SMEX and free content and resources. Just find the heading, and then if you scroll to the end of the webinar, you just click on the Mark Complete button, and it should automatically log you in and download a certificate, a PDF certificate for your PD hours. So next week's webinars, so we've got 3 down and 3 more to go. So we're halfway for term 4, 2019. So next week, next Wednesday, we have Wednesday the 13th. It will be using SMART to differentiate the curriculum, foundation through to year 2. That will be with Megan Parsons, a teacher from Sheldon College in Queensland. So please log into that. Megan is got loads of knowledge, and she's been using SMART for a long time. So there'll be lots of awesome tips in that. And then the week after, Wednesday the 20th, we have Unpacking the Digital Technologies curriculum with Associate Professor James Curran. So he actually presented at the Inspiring Greatness conference. He will be redoing his presentation that he did at the conference. So if you would like to listen again, if you attended or if you missed out on the conference, please make sure you register for that webinar, because it was awesome. I did manage to catch that one at Inspiring Greatness conference. And then last but certainly not least, Wednesday the 27th of November, we have using Smart Learning Suite in a high school maths setting with one of our Smart Exemplar educators, Vicky, and she'll be presenting from New Zealand. So there'll be lots of awesome information in that too. So that concludes today's webinar. Thank you for logging in, and we'll catch you next week. See you later.